So I've watched the Odyssey trailer once, and then I watched it again, and then I made the mistake of opening Twitter where all the fun is happening. And it's great to see how everyone became a scholar, a historian, armor expert, and part-time archaeologist, breaking this thing down frame by frame as if Nolan rewrote the Bible or something. Why is Lupita here even though she's not in the trailer? Why is Zendaya here even though she's not in the trailer? Why are they here? I'm not even sure they're in the trailer either. Did they just say dad? How dare they not use father? All the other English words are fine though, okay? Ain't nobody trying to read subtitles. Like, listen, that one I could get if they were like throwing in like slang, but everybody's there is essentially speaking modern English. I mean, dad is not the worst thing in the world. Everyone just needs to relax a little bit. Look, there's a conversation here. I'm not going to say there isn't, I get it. And I'm not even going to pretend like I don't have my own line in the sand. If you take a real historical figure and start remixing them, race swapping, gender bending, I'm probably not rocking with it. Like what they did with McCrinnis, I wasn't really for it. I still think Denzel absolutely crushed that role because that's what Denzel does. He crushes roles. But this, come on guys, this is myth. It's myth. And when it comes to myth, I'm a little bit more open to the artist's interpretation. All right, keeping it straight, could they have made safer, more accurate casting choices? Yeah, no real debate there, honestly. They could have played this completely straight, leaned into the traditional look, and then nobody would be arguing right now. This would just be Nolan's cooking again. Let him cook. But here's what I'm not gonna lie to you. That doesn't automatically mean the movie's gonna be bad because we're talking about Nolan here. And Nolan doesn't really miss like that. Even Tenet. And I remember watching that the first time and feeling like, yeah, this kind of ain't it. Second time was much better. Third time, I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here. I actually love this film. But yeah, you can question the casting. I think that's fair. But acting like the movie is cooked because of it, that's a stretch. Now, don't get me wrong. Travis Scott showing up in there. Again, bold casting choice. To me, this is becoming a alternate what if universe, as if what if there was a bunch of other black people running around in this world. But now here is where I think people are getting a little lost. This is the Odyssey, not a documentary, not a history lesson, not a museum exhibit. It's a myth. And myths have been retold thousands of different ways across time, cultures, and perspectives. So when Nolan steps in, he's not obligated to recreate your vision of the story. He's making his own. And he can do that however he feels, even if you don't like it. He can go super faithful, or he can flip it, modernize it, stylize it, do whatever he wants. How close or how far he goes is up to him. That's what it means to be creative, to put your spin on things. That's why we have multiple Dunes, multiple Batman origins, all the same, but all different in their own unique way. Now, you don't have to like it. You can say, I wish it looked more like this, or I wanted a different direction for that. That's valid. But the idea that there's only one correct way to tell a fictional story, that's just not how storytelling works. This isn't sacred text on screen. It's cinema. Absolute cinema. Now, let's talk shattered immersion for a second. That part I can actually understand. When you're watching something like this, you want to feel pulled in. You don't want anything snapping you out of it. And yeah, sometimes casting choices can do that for people. Modernist dialogue can ruin things. You look at the screen and instead seeing the world, you start seeing the conversation around the world. I get it. But again, shouldn't expect it to be your vision just because you don't like their vision. People will say that they're just critiquing it, but you're not. If you were going to critique it properly, you would wait for the full movie to come out and break it down like that. A lot of people are essentially clipping out of context and just pointing at things without even really knowing what's going on in the story. Nolan himself doesn't even play things in order. A lot of the times his movies are jumbled up and you kind of have to figure it out as you go along. Even when people are talking about the line, the gods can't stop me, because the gods are the reason he even succeeds in the first place. It's like, yeah, the man can be wrong. You know that, right? Like, he's not necessarily right just because he's the main character. I don't understand if people have just lost the ability to absorb information or be objective or just look at this thing and be like, well, I'm not seeing the complete finished version of the thing, so I have no idea in what context he's saying the words that he's saying and how they mean things. Or that the main character could just be wrong. I think people need to start taking a better look when they're trying to quote unquote critique this. You don't gotta like it. And honestly, they probably could have avoided all of this had they gone with a more traditional cast. If they went more traditional, closer to what people expect visually, this wouldn't have been a topic. This would not have even been a topic. But here's the part people don't want to admit. Most people are still going to watch this. It's Nolan, for Christ's sakes. He doesn't make bad movies. For all the historian bros out there counting the fluff on their helmets, the other 99% aren't even phased. The same people who were planning to see a Nolan film, this film, are probably still planning to see this film. A few people might drop off, sure, but in the grand scheme, probably a drop in the bucket. So yeah, critique with the full picture in tow so you know. Don't just confuse this is what I pictured with this is gonna be bad. Because these are not the same thing at all. And if Nolan does what Nolan usually does, we might be sitting here a year from now like, oh yeah, that movie was fire. Or we might say it sucks. And that's it for the video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, share this out with someone who would love it. And until next time, what do you recommend?